Moving on to the next example, how much do you have to invest today in a bank account paying 8% compound interest per year to have $10,000 in 5 years? Now this question is a little different than the questions we've been dealing with so far, because usually what's been happening is we are told how much we're investing today, so we invest a certain amount, and then we have to find out how much that investment grows to, so the future value of it. But in this case, they're asking us how much do we have to invest today. So this is our unknown variable. How much do we have to invest today so that in 5 years, that investment grows to $10,000? So in this question, we're actually computing, or we're actually trying to find the present value while given the future value. Well, there's a couple of different ways we could solve this. The first way I'm going to show is algebraically. So what we can do, because this is compound interest, we're using the compound interest formula here. But instead of solving for the future value, we're now solving for the present value. So we can rearrange this formula by dividing both sides by 1 plus r to the power of t to isolate for that present value, which is what we're solving for. So we would have the future value divided by 1 plus r to the power of t. And now we can solve for the present value. Basically, this is the present value compound interest formula. So our future value, we know it's equal to $10,000. So that's 10,000, the FV. We know that this bank account is paying 8% interest, so we'd have 0.08, or 1 plus 0.08 in brackets, and it has to grow to that $10,000 in 5 years. So when you do that algebra, making sure that you compute the denominator first because it's a bracket and an exponent, you would end up with a present value of $6,805.83. So that's how much we have to invest today, and if we invest that amount today and grow it at 8% compounded interest for 5 years, in 5 years we'll have $10,000. Second way you can do it is with a financial calculator. So as I mentioned in the previous video, you want to always write down these 5 variables that you're going to be inputting. So the N represents the number of periods, and in this case, 1 period is in years, so the number of periods is 5 years. The interest rate is 8%. Remember that this is always in percentage terms. Here it was in decimals, but when you input in your financial calculator, it's usually in percentages, so you keep it as the 8. The payment represents the cash flows per period, but there are no cash flows that are happening within the investment period. There's only the single cash flow at the beginning and then at the end. So the payment is 0. There's no cash flows happening per year. The present value is what we are solving for. And then the future value, we know that we're going to get $10,000 in 5 years. So we know that that's going to be a positive amount. So always be careful again when you're dealing with PV and FV that you get the right signs down. Also in future videos we're going to be dealing with payment amounts too, and the signs are going to be crucial there as well. So cash outflows are negative, cash inflows are positive. And because that $10,000 is coming to us in 5 years, it's positive. And then when you compute this in your calculator, the present value with all of these other variables inputted, you would get negative $6,805.83. And notice how it's a negative number because you're investing it. It's a cash outflow versus the $10,000 you're receiving, so that was a positive cash flow. And notice also how that number is the same as the number that we got here when we computed it algebraically. So either way works. I'd highly recommend probably just getting used to the financial calculator because that's what you're going to be using mostly throughout this course. So the real trick in this question was recognizing that you're looking for the present value. Usually we were given the present value and we would have to calculate the future value. In this case, it was the opposite. We were given the future value and we had to calculate the present value. Yo, what's up guys? Thanks for checking out my channel. Hopefully you got some value from the video you just watched. If you did get some value, big favor to ask you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Any questions, any recommendations on things you'd like to see, please leave it in the comments section. Also check out the description box below for links to material and content related to the video you just watched. Peace out.